Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Inter, and welcome back to the channel for some Smite 2 OB18 data mining that we just got recently. There are some model updates for ESET and RTO, some new god information on what's going to be ported soon, and potentially a little bit on the new god as well, and a few other things to look at as well. As always, data mining can be inaccurate. It just provides early insights into what Hi-Rez is developing. Don't take anything you hear in this video or read in these posts as gospel that will come to the game guaranteed. Especially with Smite 2's development, they're very quick moving and they change things a lot as they go throughout development. Some ideas get scrapped, some ideas get reworked pretty substantially, so don't take anything as gospel that you see here, but it can be good for providing early insights into what might be coming to the game in the following few patches and whatnot. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right in. There is a bunch of new skins coming to the game. This was covered in the last data mining post, though, so if you haven't seen that video, I'll link that down below. But yeah, there is a bunch of new skins that appeared in data mining in the last post. A lot of winter skins, so it seems like we might be getting some kind of winter event. Got stuff like Winter Santa, Yule Cheer, Arctic Seer, a bunch of stuff like that. Polar Bear, Danzaburo, Snow Day Silla, and stuff like that. And then there'll probably be a few other ones that are coming for the reaping event as well. But yeah, it seems like the reaping event's going to run through, and then they're probably going to have a Christmas event, like pretty much right after that, probably, with a bunch of Christmas themed skins and whatnot. The Artemis skin, still in data mining, hasn't come to the game yet. We don't know when that's actually going to drop, but it looks pretty fleshed out based on the models that are available in data mining. This is going to be a Saga skin. Still no updates on the Elemental Gold Furies yet. It seems like maybe they won't be coming, because I feel like they're probably, you know, we're going to start seeing some of the Conquest overhauls that they have been working on pretty soon, I would imagine. They've been talking about them for a long time, and they've already started doing a few like little gameplay changes to Conquest, like the changes they've done to Firebrands, the changes to the side camps and the side jungles and stuff like that. So they've kind of already started a little bit with their Arc of Conquest work. I'm hoping these will be in it. We'll have to see though when stuff actually starts coming out, either officially or via data mining. We don't have anything data mining wise on any of the Conquest changes that are coming yet, but we can hope and dream, right? Moving on to god release schedule though, which is a bulk of this data mining update. So ESET has gone up to a 90% chance to be the next god after Osiris. Again, these chances, as I said at the start of the video, take these with a grain of salt. They're not always 100% accurate. King Arthur was at like a 80% chance at one point, and we never got him. Haster was at a 100% chance, and then he got delayed. Obviously, things are fast moving. Don't take these chances as like gospel that will definitely come to the game. But ESET has been upgraded to a 90% chance from 60, and it looks like she will be that mage slot after Osiris. Sylvanas has also been bumped up from 50% to 90%, which is interesting. So it seems like he might be the next Guardian as well. They did say they unconfirmed Sylvanas, you know, at the start of this year at the Vegas LAN and whatnot. Before all the layoffs, they confirmed that Sylvanas was going to be one of the gods coming to the game this year, like quite a while back. They actually unconfirmed Sylvanas and said he's not guaranteed to come this year anymore, but it looks like maybe he will in the end, as he is up to a 90% chance. So after ESET, we'll be getting a Guardian release to complete the cycle that was started with Tsukuyomi, and it looks like Sylvanas will be that Guardian. We have some ability info for him and a model. We do with ESET as well, which I'll show you in a second. I mean, you can see ESET's down here. But yeah, once the god gets a model, you know, it's much more likely that they are going to be coming soon. Like, we got Shibalanke models not too long before he was actually officially revealed. Daji is now a 10% chance. I think she was a 5% chance before. This kind of makes sense as well. You know, there will be an assassin slot here probably. They don't always follow the exact same rotation, but, you know, this will be 5 releases after Tsukuyomi. And they have said there will be a lot of females in the rest of the lineup, a lot of goddesses for the rest of this year, and obviously ESET is one of those. Sylvanas won't be, so I think Daji would make a lot of sense, you know, in terms of being a goddess and also being an assassin. Horus and Shiva still unchanged. There's 50% chances each for the next warrior, so we're still not entirely sure who the next warrior is going to be, but probably one of these two. Ishtar is at a 5% chance, but he says it's a very long way out kind of guess. You know, this could definitely change. But again, that would line up with females for the rest of the year. I'm not sure if this god release, like all the way down here, will actually come out this year, but I think it will. Yeah, I just checked the calendar, and assuming they keep up with the 2-week releases, which I assume they will for the rest of the year up until like their Christmas break, Ishtar will be the 16th of December. That release slot for this hunter will be the 16th of December. So probably that will be the last god of this year. I doubt we will get another god after the 16th of December. You know, they will be going on their Christmas break. The consoles also go on their Christmas break for an extended period of time where they can't update the game, and they're not just going to push a new god to PC and not give it to console. So yeah, I would imagine if this god release does happen on the 16th of December, that will be the last one for the year, and that will be a hunter, potentially a female hunter, because they did say a lot of females, and that could be Ishtar. Which would mean that Baldr would actually line up quite well as like a big January release. You know, they did that with Aladdin, with the launch of open beta and stuff like that. They like to do big updates in January, and they've said that they want to do bigger updates for the new gods, you know, instead of just dropping them like they did with Barry and like random update number 47. They want to make them a bit more of a big event, have something hype around their release, maybe like a big patch that is kind of themed around them and stuff like that. That's kind of how they've talked about it on Titan Talk, and that would line up for Baldr taking this slot because this will be the first god of January next year. So that actually would make a lot of sense. He is listed as a mage right now, which is interesting. You know, the next new god theoretically should be a guardian, but not necessarily a guardian, I guess. You know, maybe it's a mage that can play the support role really well. A kind of enchanter style, you know, a bit like Nox or Aphrodite or something like that. You know, it's possible that he's listed as a mage here, but actually it's going to be more of a supportive mage, which will be interesting because we've also got Iset coming up as the next mage, which is also a mage that works pretty well in support. So, you know, maybe supports will be getting a little bit of action in terms of like enchanter style supports and less like frontline guardians. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, Baldr lining up as the first god when they're back from their break in January makes a lot of sense to me. You know, they do like to do those big releases in January, and they could maybe do like a big themed patch around Baldr. Perhaps even the full launch of the game, but to be honest, I doubt that. I don't think they're ready to fully launch the game. They haven't talked about it as if they're ready to fully launch the game either. So unless it came as a complete surprise that we go to 1.0 in this January coming up, at that point, I would probably expect that the game 1.0 is in January 2027 at that point, because they do like to do these big updates in January. They released out of open beta in January. Obviously, every Smite 1 season started in January as well. I think with the exception of Season 1, I think Season 1 started in April. But yeah, ever since Season 1 of Smite 1, they have always done these big updates in January, so that would make sense for Baldr, I think. But anyway, rant over. That's just kind of like not really a rant, I guess, but my long spiel about the potential release of Baldr. I think it will make sense. RCO has gone up from a 25% chance to a 65% chance to be the next Guardian as well. So after Sylvanas, it looks like we might be getting RTO. And this could, I guess, make sense as well. You know, back to the Baldr thing for one last time. If he releases as like an enchanter support style mage that maybe also works in mid, sort of an Iset, Nox, Aphrodite kind of character, then RCO being the next Guardian could make sense, because she does work in support, but she also works in solo lane, and seen a lot of success there as well. So, you know, maybe supports don't get a true support Guardian for a while, but, well, I guess they get Sylvanas. But then after that, maybe they don't get a true support Guardian for like the new god, but it is viable in support, and then they get RCO, who's like primarily a solo laner, but also viable in support as well, so they kind of get a lot of like random support viability thrown in. But yeah, we also have an RTO model as well further down here. So let's get to the models, I guess. We got Iset here. Which one's the best one to look at? Probably this one, I guess. So yeah, there's the ESET model. Also very low res, obviously. But yeah, that's the ESET model with lighting and stuff like that. So she's pretty far along. When you get a model like this, they Datamining Blanque's model not long before he was officially revealed. But again, don't take it as gospel. We have had Rat, Horus, and King Arthur models for a long time. We've had Hasta's basic model for a long time. And for those that are looking for updates on Hasta, if you haven't been following my previous data mining posts and whatnot, Hasta is just indefinitely delayed. He might be the next god after Baldr potentially, but they haven't given us any official information on when Baldr will be actually added to the game. Not Baldr, sorry, when Hasta will be added to the game. But yeah, that's Iset's model. Sylvanas also has a model. We got one here. You know, makes him definitely quite a bit more likely to actually be the next Guardian. Obviously, there's some weird stuff going on here. There's like black backgrounds on all of his leaves and stuff like that. They're not fully like alpha channeled or whatever, but you know, obviously that stuff will be fixed. And then we got an RTO model as well. We got her druid form and her bear form. This one has no lighting, so it might look a little bit weird for that reason. But yeah, we got an RTO model as well. So yeah, bunch of models here. It looks like those are going to be some of the gods coming to the game next. It's interesting that we have an RTO model like so far out though. There's a lot of gods between now and RTO that don't have models data mined. Daji, Horus / Shiva, Ishtar, Baldr. We don't have any of that stuff, but then we do have a model for RTO, which is kind of interesting. And finally, we do have a little bit of ESET ability information as well, which is what makes it even more likely that she might be the next mage. There's nothing really to talk about here. It's all just like basic stuff. I'm pretty sure this is all just like standard Smite 1 parity stuff, and there's a lot of ability information missing. But yeah, just having any kind of ability information does make them a little bit more likely to actually be coming to the game soon. We also have Sylvanas ability information that I covered in a previous data mining post as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this post. It's mostly like a bunch of god updates, really. You know, potentially Baldr looking like a January release is exciting. You know, I think this would line up really well. Sylvanas, RCO, and ESET models, Ishtar potentially, a bunch of god updates basically, and a little bit of other stuff. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one. Definitely go show the original poster some love, of course. I'll link that down below if you want to give them a full read. They do all the work in terms of getting this data mining. I just cover it for you guys. And if you enjoyed my coverage, don't forget to drop a like on the video before you leave, and I will catch you guys for another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.